Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Times of Ummah. Dear viewers, the Taliban's co-founder and the head of the Taliban's political office has said the Taliban group struggling to form an inclusive government in which all parties will be included. He said, I assure the people that we strive to improve their living condition and that the government will be responsible to everyone and will provide security because it is necessary for economic development, not just in Afghanistan but in the whole world. He said the security of the people and the whole country was necessary to start major economic projects in the whole country. Dear viewers, the first thing that the Afghans need is the security and peace in the country, and the Taliban will have to provide them as soon as possible, as they had in the last 90s, as they had in the late 90s. The peace was everywhere. Whenever in 90s the Taliban took control of the whole country and announced the Sharia law, but the Western countries had not bared that and invaded the peaceful Afghanistan and destroyed everything. Taliban will definitely provide security to these people, and the top Taliban leader has said, if we are able to provide security, we will overcome other problems, and from here the wheel of the progress and advancement will begin. There was the Taliban took Kabul on August 15 and no single bullet was shot there. The Kabul security forces left their posts and checkpoints, and the President Ashraf Ghani also fled the country. The sources from different sites and news outlets told that Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar will lead the new government and possibly he will be the next president of the country. Dear viewers, Baradar served as Deputy Defense Minister when the Taliban last ruled Afghanistan between 1996 and 2001. Following the fall of that Taliban government, Baradar served as a senior military commander responsible for attacks on the coalition forces. And I must also tell you that Mullah Baradar was arrested and imprisoned in Pakistan in 2010 and released in 2018 and headed to the Taliban's political office in Doha and finally agreed to sign a deal with the United States in which United States was to leave Afghanistan. Dear viewers, this time the Taliban are completely changed and now they let the women to work in education. The Taliban's top leader has told to BBC that women would continue to work but may not have place in the future government or other high-ranking positions. And the Taliban spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid has also said that women would be able to work as nurses in the police or assistants in the ministries, but ruled out that there would be female ministers. Dear viewers, the international community has also urged the Taliban group to respect the women's rights as the Taliban group working to form a new government in Afghanistan. Dear viewers, the Taliban also supporting the women who are protesting for their rights in the country, and women continued their protests and the security of the Badri ports. Dear viewers, the top United States General Mark Milley has once again said that there will be a possible civil war in Afghanistan if the Taliban fails to form an inclusive government. He also expressed his concerns about the presence of the Al-Qaeda and the IS group in the country and said these groups will become strong in the coming 3 to 4 years. He said it can trigger a civil war in the country, but Taliban's commander has assured the whole world that they will form an inclusive government. But the Taliban will not compromise on the Islamic law, and definitely the country will become peaceful as the Sharia law will be implemented. And especially the Taliban will have good relations with China, and also the Taliban will support the China's BRI projects in which China will develop this whole region. Dear viewers, for now this is enough, and for more news updates please stay with us.